Are you tired of taking minus 50 LP every single game in solo queue? Had a long day at work, at school, had a fight with your girlfriend? Well, let me teach you something right here. We're going to rank you through all of the tier lists in Season 18 Best Legends. For the most part, this is going to be anybody that's using solo queue. If you're a full squad, you know what? Make your chemistry work. What we've got on the screen right now is where I've ranked every legend if you are a solo queue. Although there are specific times you'll want a specific legend, these ones tend to be the best playing in solo queue with people you do not know and people who are not guaranteed to communicate with you. Now listen, you may thinking, Ems, you have a lot of people on the D list. Well, to be fair with you, they belong there for a reason. Let's run through them. The first one that makes the list is Ashe. While you may think Ashe is really cool in her teleport, she really provides no real true utility to a team, especially without any communication. Her passive's cute, but the game is way too fast-paced for it to provide any type of support to the team, and for that reason, we leave Ashe on the D tier. Next on the list, we have Mirage. You're not surprised. He provides little to no utility throughout the entire squad. His passive is weak, and to be fair, his ultimate really only works 50% of the time. He's got no real playmaking abilities, and for that reason, we leave him in the D tier. Now, I may catch some attitude for putting Octane in the D tier, but let me explain. Just let me tell you why. Octane in a team comp provides very good utility. However, in solo queue, he's got the worst reputation for being one of the snottiest players of all time. He's going to land on his own. He's going to run through 3 zones before you even got there. He's going to loot it all. He's going to drop it randomly. He's not going to ping it. And to be fair with you, that pad, you're never using it. So for that reason, we leave him in the D tier because he's just not a great team player. Next up, we got Fuse in the D tier. Let me tell you why. While as the meta shifts, if we slow down specifically the top 10 in the final ring, he may become way more important, but right now the game is too fast-paced still. There's still a whole lot of third parties, and you're really just not going to get to use his Knuckle Buster very well, and his ultimate, people are consistently just going to run out of it. And again, for that reason, he just doesn't make the list as being a top legend to play this game in solo queue. I'm trying to keep this video under 7 minutes, so for that reason, we're going to get quick here and tell you that Crypto does not belong in a solo queue world. If your teammates aren't listening and they're not near you, he provides absolutely zero utility. He's not going to help you get out of sticky situations, and just to be fair with you, he's just too slow in the meta. Last in the D tier, again, legends you should stay away from is going to be Vantage. She has some really good early game capability, but really late game she has zero utility and really provides nothing to the team. You could have more survivability, you could have more damage. She doesn't provide either one of those, so stay away from her. The first one up on the C tier is going to be Caustic. While he's not the best defensive legend you can have in the entire game, he does still provide some pretty strong utility, and his ultimate is really strong end games if you're able to make it there. Next up on the C tier is going to be Mad Maggie. Again, Mad Maggie can be really a good legend with a team comp. In solo queue, it's really hard to utilize her ultimate and her passive while pushing as an entire team if you have people not communicating. Again, we are trying to tell you the best legends to play for the overall outcome of winning the game. Next up in the C tier is Lifeline. Again, a couple of fixes could really make Lifeline really strong, but she really just isn't one of the best solo queue legends. While her ultimate can drop some shields for you and drop some attachments, you just don't have enough out of her to help win the game. Last up on the C tier is going to be Seer. With the most recent nerfs, he's just really not the same exact legend he used to be. He does not provide as much utility, and for that reason, we just keep him off that list because there's way better legends to play than Seer. So I want to stop right here before we get to the B tier and just tell you I appreciate you watching this video and improving. I would love it if you would drop any questions, comments, anything you want to know more about below. I respond to every single comment, and you can catch me live on Twitch anytime you want on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Friday. First up on the B tier is Bloodhound, one of my favorites. The reason Bloodhound makes the list is he has a ton of solo queue abilities with his scan, with his ultimate. He really can make a whole lot of big plays if your teammates are locking behind. He really provides that utility to you as a solo player to help make those plays. We don't need to take a whole lot of time to tell you why Loba's in the B tier, but it really helps if your team is crushed on specific weapons. Having a Loba will help you allow your teammates to get the right guns to help them perform. So for that reason, we've got her to the B tier. Next up on the list in the B tier, Rampart. And for specific reasons. While she can be very defensive and hold down specific buildings, her ultimate literally is able to shred an entire team if you play it out right. So for that reasons, we keep her as a top pick. She's the Ghost Hider. Next up on the list is Valkyrie. This is specifically just for you to help your team always stay ahead of the zone. Right now, we've got a ton of edge campers, and you really want to make sure you can take your team to a safe spot and make sure they are in the zone when it closes. Next up on the list, we have Watson. You know why? Same reasons we've picked the previous defensive legend. She's able to lock down a building. Her ultimate will help eat up some grenades, and she really just provides some extra defensive abilities if your team's not as quality as they should be. We've moved on to the A tier, and the first on that list is Gibby. With the buff to his ultimate in Season 18, along with his ability to have a shield, he really provides you the best defense ability to help keep your teammates alive. Newcastle probably belongs in the B tier for most people, but the reason I have him in the A tier right now is that he just has a whole lot of defense abilities to help some of your struggling teammates if they're not great. So for that reason, we keep him here in the A tier for now, but he may drop down. Next up on the list, Pathfinder. One of the great legends you really can solo queue with for specific reasons. His ultimate did take a small nerf, however, it will help you get across the map and get to certain POIs to keep your team safe. On top of that, if your team's not doing a whole lot of damage, his grapple is great for closing that distance on an enemy and killing them, which in return could turn that 3v3 into a 3v2. We have Wraith in the A tier, especially those of you who are really strong at playing her. She has the ability to get out of sticky situations very quickly, as long as you use her ultimate to move her teammate directly into the zone. For that reason, we think she's a top pick. Last in the A tier is Revenant. Especially with his rework, he becomes a ultimate world boss at endgame. He also provides a lot of utility. If you can use his ultimate, get in and soak up some damage while your teammate gets some damage in. Makes a great pick for playing in solo queue. Now we have moved on to the great S tier. Thank you for joining me. First up on this list, Bangalore, in for good reasons. Her smoke grenades provide a ton of utility if your teammate gets down in a poor place, and really it'll help you move zones very quickly. We know her ultimate took a nerf. Just carry Alt Excel. She's going to be a legend you're really going to want on your team, and that's no doubt. Next of my top 3 in the S tier is going to be Catalyst. With her ability to lock down buildings, to throw spikes to stop people from pushing, and also her ultimate to help really provide that distance you need sometimes late game, she finds her way on that list. You can always help your team stay alive with all of her kit. The last legend I have on this list is not just because she's my favorite, but because she provides a ton of playmaking abilities if you're running solo queue. While she's been nerfed several times the past couple of seasons, she really provides a ton of utility to the team with her gravity lift, but her ultimate is absolutely game-changing mid and late game to really cluster a team in to die. While she might require a higher skill cap to play, if you're able to master this legend, you really can make big plays to start earning big LP.